Hello, my dear students. Today you will learn about the process of photosynthesis. Before that, one small portion is remaining, that is the stomatal regulation of stomatal opening for letting in carbon dioxide, that we can discuss during live session, that we already discussed one. Once again, we can discuss during live session. Today we are discussing about process of photosynthesis. You know the structure of chloroplast and the location of chloroplast in the leaf. We can see this chloroplast in the mesophyll cell. Mesophyll cells are two types, palisade and spongy. In your textbook, page number 770, that is in 70, you can see the picture of palisade and spongy mesophyll cells. This palisade mesophyll cells contain more amount of chloroplast. More chloroplast we can see in the palisade mesophyll cell. It is located below the upper epidermis. And during daytime, the sunlight falls on the surface of leaf, and this light energy is trapped by the chlorophyll that is present on the wall of thylakoids. And this light energy is used or utilized for different chemical process, that is for the manufacturing of food material. To manufacture glucose, they use this light energy. And the raw materials for synthesis of food, that is carbon dioxide and water. Carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide diffuses through the stomata. From the atmosphere, this carbon dioxide diffuses into the leaf through the stomata. Then water. Roots absorb water from the soil and xylem conduct this water into the leaf. So these are the two raw materials for photosynthesis. What is the equation of photosynthesis? This is the balanced equation of photosynthesis. 6 carbon dioxide joined with 12 water molecule in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll gives glucose. This is glucose. This is one molecule of glucose. Then again water. It is not the actual water. It's after the reaction, this water is produced. Then 6 oxygen molecule, okay, 6 O2, that oxygen molecule will liberate into the atmosphere through stomata. So this is the balanced equation of photosynthesis, important one. Maybe during the exam may ask to write the balanced equation of photosynthesis. So here sunlight and chlorophyll you have to write, because that means in the presence of sunlight, by using sunlight in the presence of chlorophyll, they are synthesizing this glucose molecule. This glucose molecule is the main product of photosynthesis, and these two are the byproduct. Along with the main product, some byproducts also produced. So these are the byproducts of photosynthesis. Glucose is the main product. Raw materials are carbon dioxide and water. Energy sources sunlight and chloroplast. Chloroplast is the machinery. Photosynthesis consists of two main phases. First phase is light dependent phase or light reaction. First phase is light reaction. It is also known as light dependent reaction. Light dependent reaction. Second phase is light independent reaction or dark reaction. Dark reaction, also known as light independent reaction, and biosynthetic phase. biosynthetic phase. Biosynthetic phase. And this light reaction is taking place in thylakoids. In thylakoids, or that is in grana. Thylakoids, this light reaction is taking place in thylakoids, and dark reaction or biosynthetic phase is taking place in stroma. That's why I told you to study the structure of chloroplast. Okay. Light reaction is taking place in thylakoid, then dark reaction is taking place in stroma. Light reaction is light dependent reaction. For this phase, light is necessary. That is light dependent reaction. Dark reaction or biosynthetic phase. Now, the most commonly used term is light independent reaction. Dark reaction. More than that, we can use light independent or biosynthetic phase, because this dark reaction is take place along with the light reaction during daytime. This the term mean dark reaction means this phase does not require light. Okay, even though they are taking place during daytime, this phase does not require light for that process. That is the meaning of dark reaction. Mainly the glucose is produced in this phase, and that is biosynthetic phase. So we can discuss each steps in detail. First one is light dependent reaction or light reaction. The first phase is known as light dependent phase. In this light dependent phase, light plays the key role. Okay, light plays the key role. That's why it is light dependent reaction. During daytime, the light follows the surface of leaf and the chlorophyll absorb, that is trap the sunlight, and that chlorophyll become activate, and this process is taking place in thylakoids. The site also important one. So light dependent phase. This light dependent phase consists of two major steps. First step is activation of chlorophyll, and second step is splitting of water. Activation of chlorophyll means when the sunlight falls on the surface of leaf, the chlorophyll absorb or trap the sunlight, and that chlorophyll become activate. That is activation of chlorophyll. Then second step, that is a splitting of water molecule. By using this light energy, the raw material, one of the raw material is water. That water will split into different products. That is for a splitting of water. The term is photolysis. Photo means light, lysis means splitting. So by using light, water will split into a number of products. That is photolysis of water. So two steps. First one, activation of chlorophyll. In this step, chlorophyll become activate in the presence of light. The light energy, the unit of light energy is known as photons. Photons. Unit of light energy is known as photons. First step is chlorophyll become activate. The chlorophyll become activate in the presence of sunlight. Then second step is splitting of water molecule. Splitting of water. So second step means photolysis of water. Photolysis. Photolysis. Photo means light, lysis means splitting. So in the presence of light, the water molecule split into, so here two water molecules split by using 4 photons and produce hydrogen ions, electrons and oxygen. This oxygen will liberate into the atmosphere through the stomata. So what is the source of oxygen? water is the source of oxygen during photosynthesis? It is an important question. So, water molecule is the source of oxygen. Carbon dioxide also one of the raw material. But water is the source of oxygen during photosynthesis. And that oxygen is produced as a result of photolysis of water. Here water, when the trap sunlight, the water molecule split into hydrogen ion, electron and oxygen. Hydrogen ion, electron and oxygen. These two products they will use for further reaction. This oxygen will liberate into the atmosphere. So these are the two steps coming under light dependent phase. First one, activation of chlorophyll. That chlorophyll traps sunlight and it will become activate. The unit of light is known as photon. Then next step is splitting of water. One of the raw material is water. That water will split into hydrogen ion, electron and oxygen. This oxygen will liberate into the atmosphere through stomata. Then this process is known as photolysis. So what is photolysis? That is important one. In the presence of light, water molecules split into hydrogen ion, oxygen and electron. That process is taking place in grana. Okay, grana means stack of thylakoids. Then this is the first step of photosynthesis. This is the representation of photosynthesis. First step is this one. This is the first step, that is light dependent reaction that is taking place in the thylakoids. Here water split into oxygen, hydrogen and electron, and oxygen given out into the atmosphere. Then remaining hydrogen, ion and electron are there. Here in light dependent reaction, ADP, adenosine diphosphate. Okay, adenosine diphosphate join with one inorganic phosphate. One more phosphate group. This ADP, it is diphosphate. ATP is triphosphate. Di means 2, tri means 3. So ADP, one energy molecule, that is joined with an inorganic phosphate in the presence of light. This electron also join with the ADP. As a result, energy currency ATP will produce. So first energy currency is ATP. That ATP is produced by joining this ADP into inorganic phosphate, one phosphate group and also one electron. So ADP is produced as a result of photophosphorylation. Photophosphorylation means addition of phosphate group, and also one electron molecule also will join with the ADP. So addition of inorganic phosphate molecule, that is known as phosphorylation. That process is taking place in the presence of light. So that reaction is known as photo, means light, phosphorylation. Photophosphorylation means phosphorylation in the presence of light. Okay, here ATP is produced. Then the remaining hydrogen and electron will join with the NADP, another energy currency molecule, energy rich molecule, that convert into NADPH. Okay, NADP combine with H plus and electron and produce NADPH, that also an energy rich molecule. So these are the two products of light dependent reaction, ATP and NADPH. These two energy rich molecules are the products of light dependent reaction. So this is important one, ATP and NADPH. Then oxygen also evolved as a result of this reaction. The source of oxygen is water molecule. Then next one, after that light dependent reaction, next step is light independent or dark reaction. It is taking place during daytime, but this process does not require light. Then in stroma of the chloroplast, this process is taking place Here the NADPH is split into NADP and it will release hydrogen ion. Here they will release hydrogen, and here ATP split into ADP, inorganic phosphate, and electron. So here free electron and hydrogen. These two are combined with carbon dioxide, another raw material of this reaction. So this carbon dioxide undergo chemical reaction, carbon dioxide fixation. So this carbon dioxide will convert into glucose, and this reaction is a complicated one. It is taking place in a number of steps. So this Calvin cycle, this is fixation, carbon dioxide fixation. After that, this carbon dioxide convert into glucose. So the source of glucose is carbon dioxide. So the carbon dioxide is produced, so the glucose is produced from the carbon dioxide by the processes known as Calvin cycle. As a result, glucose will produce. It's a complex reaction that is known as Calvin cycle, and as a result of that, glucose will produce, and several glucose molecules join together and produce starch. Starch is a polysaccharide. Glucose is a monosaccharide. So several glucose molecules join together and produce starch by the process of polymerization. Polymerization means several glucose molecules join together and form starch. That process is known as polymerization. So once again we can conclude the reaction. Photosynthesis consists of two main phases, light dependent and light independent. In light dependent reaction, light plays the key role. Here, so we know that this water and carbon dioxide are the two raw materials of photosynthesis. First, water will split into oxygen, hydrogen and electron. Oxygen will given out. Hydrogen and electron, they will helps to produce ATP and NADPH2 energy rich compound. And here ATP is produced as a result of photophosphorylation. ADP combined with inorganic phosphate in the presence of light energy. That is known as photophosphorylation. Phosphorylation means addition of phosphate group. That is taking place in the presence of photon. That's why photophosphorylation. And after that, next step is taking place in stroma. Then ATP and NADPH again split into produce NADP and ADP. And here H plus ion will be free. That H plus ion also used for carbon dioxide fixation. As a result of Calvin cycle, a complex process, carbon dioxide fixation, from the carbon dioxide glucose will produce. So actually in the stroma, in the dark reaction, the glucose is produced. So the several glucose molecules join together and form starch by the process of polymerization. So source of oxygen is water and source of glucose is carbon dioxide. So this is the process of photosynthesis. So my dear students, so this is the process of photosynthesis. I hope it is clear. If you need more clarification, I will clear your doubt during live session. Okay, my dear students. So, that's all for today. We can see in the next class. Thank you. Have a nice day.